Yellowstone EP provides development update on 2 more spin-off series. Yellowstone executive producer Christina Voros has provided a development update on 2 more spin-off series for Taylor Sheridan's Western universe. The end of Yellowstone saw the Dutton family sell the titular ranch back to the Broken Rock Reservation, with Beth, Kelly Rayleigh, and Rip Kohlhauser buying a new one, taking their young ranch hand Carter, Finn Little, with them. This sets the stage for the pair's upcoming spin-off series, which is currently in development alongside another show, The Madison, both expanding the franchise's modern-day storytelling. Speaking with TV Insider, however, Voros acknowledged 2 other previously announced Yellowstone spin-offs, 6666 and 1944, providing updates on their development. The executive producer revealed there are still some doors open, and production on both shows will depend on Sheridan's decision to continue. While she doesn't know if the shows are still in development, it doesn't mean they won't arrive at some point in the future. Check out what Voros had to say below. Yellowstone first began to expand into spin-offs with 1883, which told the story of the first generation of Duttons who settled on the land which would become the ranch. This was followed by another spin-off set 40 years later, showcasing Jacob, Harrison Ford, and Cara Dutton, Helen Mirren, as they deal with issues like the Great Depression. 1923 Season 2 is set to begin on February 23, 2025, the first of 2 spin-offs, alongside The Madison confirmed for next year. However, although 6666 was announced in 2021 and 1944 in 2023, there's no word yet on their current development state. Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff is likely taking priority, since it will be continuing the story of the original, following a new Dutton legacy in the process. Sheridan is also overseeing other shows for Paramount like Lioness and Landman Now, which could also be eating away at the time spent developing 6666 and 1944. Although it's still unclear if the shows are in development, it could simply be that the wider scope of the creators' projects mean they aren't going to be prioritized for some time. Voros' update indicates that, while 6666 and 1944 might not be in active development, their futures could be determined based on how well the upcoming Yellowstone spin-offs perform. 1923 will likely lead into the other year-based spin-off, while the show focusing on the Four Sixes Ranch might be connected to one of the modern-day shows. Although there's still nothing concrete about what it means for their futures, the new shows might still have some life left in them, depending on how prioritized shows perform. In a recent interview that sent fans into a frenzy, Yellowstone executive producer David Glasser offered a tantalizing glimpse into the ever-expanding Yellowstone universe. As Taylor Sheridan's flagship series gallops toward its final season, Glasser revealed that not 1, but 2 brand new spin-offs are officially in development, and they promise to bring fresh blood, familiar legacies, and unexpected corners of the West to the screen. "We're just getting started," Glasser said, cracking a knowing smile. Taylor's world is limitless, and there are stories rooted in the Dutton mythology that we've barely begun to explore. While details remain under wraps, Glasser teased enough to send the fandom into full speculation mode. Here's what we know, and what we can imagine, about the 2 series that could be saddling up next. Spin-off number 1, Yellowstone, 1944. Building on the success of 1883 and 1923, the first of the 2 upcoming projects is tentatively titled Yellowstone, 1944, a historical prequel that will follow the Dutton family in the post-World War II era. This is a generation forged by war, returning home to a nation they barely recognize, Glasser said. "It's a very different kind of frontier story. The stakes are high, not just for land, but for identity." Sources say the series will center around a young John Dutton Sr., fresh from the battlefields of Europe, attempting to reclaim a life he left behind. A wife who's changed in his absence, a ranch under threat from government expansion, and a family fractured by secrets. The encroachment of new infrastructure, from highways to power plants, will challenge the traditional Dutton way of life, setting the stage for ideological clashes that mirror the era's shifting values. There's also talk of introducing characters from Native American communities whose stories intertwine with the Duttons in profound ways, offering a more expansive and inclusive look at the evolving American West. Think Yellowstone meets Saving Private Ryan with a touch of Mad Men drama. One source said, "The hats are still big, but the world's changing fast." Casting has reportedly begun, with buzz that a major Hollywood name, possibly from Sheridan's growing stable of A-listers, is circling the lead role. Could we see Miles Teller, Lucas Hedges, even a younger Hemsworth? Time will tell. Spin-off number 2, 4 Sixes, Texas Blood. The second spin-off, long rumored and now confirmed to be actively in development, is a full-fledged dive into the 4 Sixes ranch in Texas. Aptly titled 4 Sixes, Texas Blood, the series will focus on the sprawling ranch introduced in Yellowstone Season 4 and previously teased as its own standalone show. "This one's a modern tale," Glasser said. "We're going to explore what it means to be a cowboy in the 21st century in a place where heritage still rules. But the pressures of modern agriculture, water rights, and politics are growing by the minute." Fans of Jimmy, played by Jefferson White, will be pleased to know the lovable underdog vet tech turned ranch hand is expected to reprise his role, now more confident and seasoned in his role at the Texas ranch. But he won't be alone. Jimmy's not the main character, but he's our connection point, Glasser teased. The heart of this story lies with a new generation of ranchers, some born into the life, some trying to escape it, some fighting to preserve it against encroaching corporate interests. Sheridan is reportedly aiming for an ensemble cast with multiple overlapping storylines. Think Friday Night Lights meets Hell or High Water. Expect tangled romances, dusty rivalries, and more than a few morally gray decisions. One subplot will allegedly follow a female barrel racer torn between the tradition-bound culture of rodeo life and her dreams of Olympic-level competition. Another will center on a wealthy oil family trying to buy up the land beneath the 4 Sixes feet, with motivations that are as personal as they are political. "This is Texas at its most raw," Glasser said. "It's hot, it's hard, and it's unapologetically bold." Sheridan's expanding frontier, Taylor Sheridan, who is now basically the Kevin Feige of prestige cowboy television, continues to expand the Yellowstone universe at an astonishing pace. With 1883 and 1923 both drawing critical acclaim and Emmy buzz, and Lawman. Bass Reeves demonstrating his flair for character-driven historical drama. Sheridan's grip on neo-Western storytelling is iron-tight. But with Yellowstone ending, at least in its current form, and Kevin Costner's status uncertain, the future of the franchise depends on how successfully these new shows can carry the torch. Glasser is confident they can. Taylor's not writing sequels. He's writing chapters of a saga, Glasser said. Each one stands alone, but together they form a larger story about what America was, is, and could be. While no premiere dates have been confirmed, sources close to the project say Yellowstone 1944 could begin filming by late summer, aiming for a mid to late 2026 release. Texas Blood is expected to arrive even sooner, possibly late 2025, with scripts reportedly in the final polish stage. Sheridan, true to form, is writing most of it himself. He writes fast, but more importantly, He writes like it matters, Glasser said. Every saddle squeak, every piece of dust kicked up by a boot, every stare across a pasture. It's all deliberate. Fans react, give me all the Duttons. Online, the reaction has been instant and passionate. Twitter and Reddit exploded with speculation about casting, storylines, and whether certain beloved characters might appear in younger form. Give me Baby Rip or give me death. One fan joked on X, formerly Twitter, referencing the possibility of seeing Rip Wheeler's origins explored down the line. Others are hopeful for crossovers. Could Spencer Dutton's descendants appear in 1944? Might we see a flash-forward from Texas Blood that collides with Yellowstone? 2024, the rumored Matthew McConaughey-led successor series. Glasser didn't confirm or deny, but his smile said enough. There are surprises coming, he said. Big ones. One thing's for sure, in Taylor Sheridan's world, the West isn't just wild. It's wide open, and fans are more than happy to saddle up for the ride.